All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and in sincerity, which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers, right? And Shalom to the ones that endure this faith until the very end, until the time of Jacob's trouble, which are, again, the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and a few sisters. All right, so Shalom. I want to do this, quick video, pretty much on another thing I've been researching, right? Again, all throughout history, this man is never held accountable for the things that he's done. But anything that is done today, or even towards them, it's an issue, right? I've been researching about something that they called it was multiple executive orders, obviously. But this one was Executive Order 9066, right? Pretty much, this executive order was passed in 1942, right? It was pretty much it was made to relocate, Japanese people from America, pretty much kicking them out. But even the ones that were born in America and are under American citizenship, they were also relocated. But that's not really it, because this executive order was just supposed to be made to relocate. But, knowing this man, although we don't give a shit about them Japanese, we don't care. You got Jake among them, yes. But as far as the nation themselves, no. They're heathens. We don't give a shit about them. But this just pretty much shows what I'm going at is the hypocrisy of this man. Right? The elder here of Baltimore, he went into the word hypocrite, which is actor. Right? And actor, or to act, means to lie. That's all this man has ever done, is lie. This was supposed to be, Executive Order 9066 was supposed to be a relocation, a forced relocation actually, of at least over 100,000 or 120,000. But most of them were American, citizens at the same time. But what they did, knowing this man, he took it a whole step further. He started taking away, a lot of rights, obviously, which that's going to happen if you relocate them, kicking them out pretty much. You might as well just call it that. Just call it as it is. You're kicking them out. Why they was doing this, why this executive order was passed by President Roosevelt, because of the Pearl Harbor, right? This was passed in 1942. So this was a year after the Pearl Harbor, which was in 1941. So what they did, of course, they started, first of all, they started taking the men out of the houses. Pretty much they called them internees. And most of the men were actually even teenage years, right? They were like maybe in a teenage age. But the women and children, they locked them up. They drafted the men, right? Because they drafted teenagers too. They drafted them and kept them in what they call WRA camps. So there's a lot here that's wrong. This was supposed to be a relocating thing. But what are you doing locking up, their family and drafting them and bringing them into war? For what? Because of the attack on Pearl Harbor? But what about the things y'all have done? What about what I just recently did a video on, the Bear River Massacre? What about that? In 1863. In between, right, the Civil War. Y'all over here slaughtering Native Americans, Oh, but y'all not held accountable for that. In fact, Patrick Connor, the one who ran that massacre, he got promoted to a general just for it. Right? And just because the natives stole some food for survival, and they most likely stole the food back because y'all always stealing food or stealing anything. Y'all stole the land. Right? Y'all stole our heritage. So what else they do? You know, again, over 100,000 men were taken out of the houses and kept in these camps. You know, and in fact, it even goes worse than this. But here's the thing. Here's why they're hypocrites. You know, y'all even called it a forced relocation. That's not a relocation. That's more of, you know, separating families. And not only that, but that also defies, that's why I went into before the Treaty of Versailles. Pretty much when they made Germany sign treaties just to take away their rights to bear arms and military. They went against the Second Amendment. But this right here, this goes against the 8th and 9th Amendment. Right? The 8th Amendment. What does that say? Pretty much it protects anybody from unnecessary punishment. But the 9th Amendment, what is it protects, you know, the rights of U.S. citizens. Now, 2/3 of these Japanese that were drafted, you know, and their rights were taken away, they were Japanese Americans, right? Signed under U.S. citizenship. You know, that again, this shows the hypocrisy of the rulers of darkness. That's all they've ever been. You know, they're hypocrites. So why is this quote unquote relocation turned into an all-out punishment? Right. So this is Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right? So he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. His pride, you know, it all throughout the scriptures, man, his pride has always been seen. Right? What happened with the Tower of Babel? You know, what about today? Shit, every time we go downtown, we see all these tall buildings. That's also pride. Why? Because these tall structures, as Obadiah say, you know, they represent him looking down on everybody. Why? Because he got so much ego. No other country can best us. You know, we own the people with government controlling of the mind. And if anybody even dares to break the laws, he's coming after you. And that's what we see right here with this executive order. Right? The Bear River Massacre, the Treaty of Versailles. You know, even more. You know, what about when they wanted to annex Cuba? Pretty much trying to take them over. Right? They always just, they're grape gatherers. All they do is consume, and that's what this society is built off of. You know, capitalism is consuming. That's all this man thrives on. But what does it say right here? Who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death, meaning that he will consume anything, whether it means killing, mostly killing, because that's all he's addicted to, or to make, you know, make somebody's experience hell in the process, and cannot be satisfied. Right? Again, I quote the scripture all the time. If this man is not taken out of power, no flesh will be saved, because he cannot be satisfied whatsoever. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So he takes people, their nations, etc. That's all he's ever done. So I want to go to Obadiah 1 and 7. Yep, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Right? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. Right? So let's go back. All the men of thy confederacy, that's what? His military, his army. But that border is slavery. And what do you see today? Modern day slavery. Same place. You got to work. The careers are already draining people. Shit, school itself is draining people. I'm sitting here tired in class. That it drains people. That's all that's all it is. But it says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Right. So I went into pretty much the commentary of Obadiah 1 and 7. Esau was known. They was highly known for their import-export trade. Right. They had many trade outposts. And what they did, it even said that those that they thought that was with them, their allies, they all turned against them. Because that's all this man is. Even the other nations see it. But through the spirit and power of Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, them other nations are going to fall with them. Why? Because they're the dogs that lick the wound, as the parable of Lazarus. Right? So what they done, they knew that, all these other nations, they follow unto them, but they're going to eventually turn against them. But at the same time, they did it because they know that Esau was going to turn against them. Because that's all he's known for. There's no understanding in him. They turned against him. They turned against, the rulers of darkness before they turned against the heathens. That's what you see right here. The Pearl Harbor, that's an example of the heathens turning against Esau. So I want to get Job 30 and 8. I just had the translation. Yup. It says, they were children of fools, children of base men. Right? So they're the children of fools. That's all they've ever been, is fools, liars, actors, hypocrites. Children of base men. Seriously base, low. Right? That's why you have a basement of a house. It's low. But also the foundation. Which they do that on purpose because they build a basement so your house can't be moved. This man has built himself, or made himself into the Lord made him into a base on the earth. Pretty much a parasite. It's like a leech. That's all this man is a damn leech. He attached himself to the earth and consumed all the products and gaining profit off of it so damn much until there's nothing left in the earth. Physically and spiritually. And he's still doing that to this day. It says they were viler than the earth. As simple as that. This man is none, he's always been nothing but a hypocrite. But then you got these 2/3 that will want to side with Esau. But at this point, even Jeremiah 6, the 6th chapter, it said they will fall among them that fall. Right? Both will fall into a ditch. Right? Because you're joining hand with this devil. And obviously, this man has always been doing wickedness. Right? You can follow, you can break all the laws of the Bible. This is the image that he pushes out there. You can break all the laws in the Bible, but you break our laws, you run that red light, you're going to see a whole fast ass modified police cruiser chasing your ass down. So I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, and Shalom.